He's Lancelot. So,
No, it's not.
he's not.
Not unless you want to believe me and Justin's theory that everyone represents same characters from every mythology. Because everyone is King Arthur's court in a different mythos. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. Theta here, alongside Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Fate Zero. I think Lessons' favorite of the Patreon requested shows.
Yeah, so far.
So far,
because
it could ruin itself at any moment.
I find the whole thing, how it works and who's doing with what, I find that more fascinating. But because it has a central conceit of, only, Highlander conceit, only one can survive at the end.
Yep, Lessons is a big fan of Zatch Bell.
I heard about that. Actually, I don't remember seeing it.
Like this, but with dolls.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's what it is. Sorry, I wasn't planning to go into Zatch Bell. Zatch Bell is basically a bunch of dolls that are, like, alive, but then you, the person... It's like Pokemon, but with dolls, but there also can only be one at the end. So you, like, read spells out of a spell book, and then the doll will do the thing. But then you're also kind of in the fight, too, so it's like Digimon in that respect, and that Digidestined also fight, whereas Pokemon trainers don't fight.
Yeah. But in Digimon, the kids actually got to grow up, eventually.
I'm assuming Ash grew up, and that he won everything at the end. He went home. Spoilers. Anyway, we got comments.
Go ahead.
Septic from the Patreon. Oh, by the way, before I forget, thank you, Septic, for sponsoring these. Before I actually, I'm going to thank Septic, and then I'm not going to read their comment first. So thank you, Septic. Well, I scrolled down to Septic's comment, but I actually have comments written above theirs. So we'll get to you in a minute, Septic. By the way, thank you for sponsoring.
Wait your turn, Septic.
Well, first up, I've written these down in the order that they were posted. So first off, first come is David Butt from Patreon from the episode Golden Radiance. So one of the comments you covered here explained that servants can survive for specific periods of time if their master is killed. To add to this, if a master's servant is killed, they are not necessarily completely out of the Holy Grail War. So long as they still have a wish that they want granted, they can still have command seals, despite not having a servant anymore. Like what happened with Kirai. So a servantless master can make a new contract with a masterless servant, so they can team up to continue fighting in the Holy Grail War. This is why the Church is there to protect masters who lose their servants and don't want to participate in the war anymore. Also, you're mistaken about Kirai having been given a new servant. The Grail just gave him new command seals because he still has a wish that he wants granted. So Kirai can either wait for a master to die, or he can kill a master who has a servant that he wants in order to continue fighting in the Grail War. I'm shifting to now talk more about Magecraft and Mage families. The Magecraft stuff isn't explained too much in Zero, mostly because it's a prequel and that stuff is explained more in Fate Stay Night itself, but it is not required for the inheritor of a family's crest to be blood-related to them. You can give your crest to someone who is not blood-related, but I think if you do, that magic that you pass down will now be less powerful. Also, each family specializes in one specific type of magic, and with each successive generation, the power of that specific magic gets stronger and stronger. For example, the Tosakas create and store their magic in gems, and that is their specific magecraft. They learn and perform other types of magic, but the main thing that each mage studies is the unique magecraft of their family. Some more miscellaneous comments. Excalibur is indeed Saber's noble phantasm. The opening song is performed by the group Kalafina, and the main composer for the band is Yuki Kajiura, who also composes the soundtrack to Fate Zero.
Okay.
No comments?
No, I mean, we kind of covered a little bit of that before when we talk about the magecraft and all that, and whether or not it could be passed with someone to someone else, and what happens if you have more than one child, and whether it gets divided or not, and et cetera, et cetera. And why do you have to either exile the child or kill them outright? Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess the other half was just directed at me then with the whole Kirai thing. That, well, it's a double thing here. So I thought he was getting a new summon. Apparently, they're saying it's not. Wait, you're the first person who's mentioned this in like 3 or 4 episodes of me saying that it's happened. So, but I guess also the element of it's weird then that Kirai is saving. God, what the hell's his name? He is currently saving Karaya at the moment. You remember?
Yeah.
Okay,
He's the one who took the shot.
What?
Right?
No.
He's the one who took. No, he's not the one who took the shot.
No, you're talking about Ryunosuke.
And I don't know who
Ryunosuke
you're
got
talking
shot
about.
twice.
Yeah.
Now Karaya is the one who's burnt alive and fell off the edge of the
Yeah. He
building
found him
the
in the
duel.
alley, and in the alley, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna save your life."
Yeah, because conceivably, according to this comment, he could have just killed him and taken Berserker.
But he didn't. Well, at least not yet, anyway.
Well, I don't think you're going to heal him and then, haha, tricked you, snap neck.
Mhm.
Because if somebody was going to do that, it'd be Kurai, because he's the one who seems to have superhuman strength and endurance for some reason.
He's the mage. No, he's not the mage killer, is he? Yeah, he's the mage killer.
Nope, you do not remember anybody, despite the fact that you have the board open and you can see everyone's faces. Hey, do me a quick favor and point to the mage killer with your cursor. So I recognize who you know who that is. So I can see your mouse on the board, so I know what you're looking at.
I'm trying to point him out, though. I don't want to make a mistake. No, he's not. It's Kitsurugu? Emiya?
I said point at him with your cursor, so everyone knows you're looking at.
No, his wife screwed him over, I think. That's not him, though. So, where's the mage?
You know what? Just to save some time here, you were right, but you identified them as the wrong person. No, you were over here. Look, see mine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you said that's the mage killer. Then you said his wife screwed him over. No, that's this guy. The mage guy. Well, technically he's the guy who taught the academy and was apparently a really good mage. Even though apparently this guy is the main mage guy. But this is the one whose wife screwed him over. He's the one who shows up in the opening now in a wheelchair. Because assumedly either he gave her the seals or she cut his hand off. We haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
So no, this is the guy who has a homunculus for a wife, apparently.
Yeah.
Or has been, well, no, that was revealed like 2 episodes ago, I think. Yeah, she's a homunculus. Because otherwise, in the very first episode, he says, I'm going to be responsible for killing you, or something. Also, they have a daughter together, who you've never seen in the show, but is the most adorable thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Also, not for nothing, while we have the board up, added character.
Joan d'Arc?
And she was in the last episode.
Was she?
Yep.
But in the present or in the past?
I'm assuming in the past.
And Mitterrand was was the guy that reported to Alexander the Great.
Waiver.
Like, we're home. Yeah.
Reported to Waiver.
Oh yeah. He was sent by Alexander the Great to report to Waiver.
I love that this is the show that you enjoy the most, and you're 100% wrong on every character so far. Durarara has more characters than this, and at least you're not as wrong there. Anyway, next comment. Sevdaq from the Patreon, from the episode Golden Radiance. Nice Arthur proto art there. Your character. In other Fate series, or mainly, I don't know what FGO stands for, because I don't know all the series, revealed identity could mean big trouble for some hero, because magic or magecraft thing in Fate is just another practice of reality. They always end up with the same Fate/product as Material World, but with mysterious and better cost-efficient way to perform. For example, Lancer here always end up being love affair, or if some famous hero die in certain dramatic situation, once you know his identity, you can prepare similar object/people/location, so then Fate or World will run the script in your favor. hence have a better advantage against that particular hero. Lancer class with bad luck skill stats. Sorry, I got to the abbreviation and then forgot for a moment what I was talking about. Lancer class with bad luck stats are usually having weak resistances to avoid such roll/pot. Sorry, I am stuttering again like I was doing back in Legends of Galactic Heroes reaction. To avoid such roll/plot in many Fate story, lol. So, I guess blasting Excalibur Beam from the start would convince your/multiple opponents to charge on you because they know your Phantasm is anti-fortress type, which will consume large portions of mana, which weaken your overall output after uses. As for the Mage Association and Mage Family thing, your guesses are not very wrong. There are plenty of lore in other material and anime emphasize about these mage politics. Maybe I could continue with that after Fate Zero, although it is a relatively boring series to most people.
Okay. Take the word for them. I would have to take the word for it.
Nothing about the rest?
No, not really.
You had no response to any of these comments.
Nope.
I gotta prod you, like, the audience is saying this. What do you say, Lessons? What do you say? Okay, 2 in a row, 100% agreement, which tells me I don't know he even listened to me talking. All right, third comment then, and you better have something to say about this one, because it'll be the longest of them all.
I guess I do.
Alex V9 from Golden Radiance. I was waiting for this reaction, and as always, here are the paragraphs. Sorry. 1. You guys understood enough about magic circuits and how mage families work. More will be said about this later, so I'll refrain for now. Just 2 things that you got a little confused about that won't be clarified much in the future is. First, Theta. Magic circuits and magical crest are not physical objects/things, but metaphysical ones, like the soul or mana. The crystal we see when Rin was practicing is a training gem for mana output. Similarly, the gem in Tokiyami's cane is a mediator for his mana and the manifestation of his magecraft. This confusion is partially my fault for using the word crystallization in my previous comment. It should be noted that the Tosaka family focuses on the study of jewelry magecraft, as per the previous comment. And second, Lessons, is that the Grail is not the goal of the mages, it is only a means to their final objective. I'll explain it. A mage reason for living, their great purpose, or at least what they believe to be their great purpose, is the search and accumulation of knowledge and mysteries of the creation. However, this task becomes trivial due to the short lifespan of a human being. For that reason, mages first search for ways to extend their lifespan, whether through rituals, transformations, etc., every form of magecraft that could help them. Sadly, these forms of longevity are not absolute and have their disadvantages, mostly about resources and the limited lifespan of the earthly plane. For that reason, mages seek to reach the root and obtain a true magic, one specifically which was mentioned in the first episode, minute 2410, because these true magics, used wisely, can prolong life indefinitely, making their purpose a reality.
I feel that especially that second comment is a repeat. Word for word is something that has been said before.
We've talked a lot about the root and true magic.
No, but I mean about the fact that mages, being mortals, can live long enough to perfect their magic. Therefore, they will use the wish granted by the Grail to get closer to true magic and therefore immortality.
I mean, I don't know if it's the case. We know Matau is considered a vampire, so I don't know if that's something that's come into play here. I guess also we should probably let Alex V9 know what your motto is.
Leave it alone.
Well, because they're referring to the mysteries of creation, and as we all know, Lesson's point of view is this, as a detective, mind you, is that some mysteries are better not solved. I believe that's your motto.
Yeah, as a writer, not as a detective.
Oh, even better. That's what I love reading. On the, hanging threads. It's my favorite thing in a book. Number 2. The topic has already been talked with Griffin and Justin, but here it is for you lessons. Noble phantasms are divided into rank measured from E lowest to A highest, and type according to what they are used against, anti ... with the most common being anti-unit, anti-army, and anti-fortress. Note, there are other types and ranks like EX, but I'll explain them when you get to episode 23.
Okay.
Number 3. Sorry, go ahead.
Does that mean that all of these phantasms are in the same grade as they're fighting each other, or how do you know? Or are we talking about the expressions of their power?
Well, the noble phantasm is like their ultimate move, and those are the ones that you hide, or at least they've expressed that they've been trying to hide them.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I'm confusing their summons with the phantasm. Never mind. Phantasms are
I just sent you a bunch of images in case you want to take a look at those. Although I don't remember if we looked at those together or not.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. I guess so I don't have to put it up on screen. I sent him with those what do you call them? Character cards that show the ranks and everything on them, and for the noble phantasms that we had not seen or seen yet. That's why there's the big old blocked out parts. Number 3, I forgot to mention this at the previous reaction. To clarify the situation of Kirai Kodabin and avoid confusion, he cannot summon another servant, and even if he wanted to, the Grail would not allow it, since the 7 servants have already been summoned. Because if it were so, the war would never end, since any master who lost his servant could continue summoning another one constantly, since all masters still have a great desire. What Kirai can do, the opportunity the Grail has given him, is his command seals back to be able to make a pact with another servant who has lost its master. Kirai is essentially a player in waiting, as per the other comment.
But it couldn't be, what's his name? Lancer. I'm talking about Caster, because Caster got destroyed.
Caster's dead.
Yeah.
So. No, they're talking about a summon that's still alive, but a master who's dead. So if, like, I keep forgetting his name, Kiraya, if Kirai had burnt to death after he fell off the building, then I guess he could have tried to, make a deal with Berserker, but although that seems like fucking impossible, because they made Berserker extra berserk when they summoned him. So I don't know if there'd be anything to do there.
Yeah.
Number 4, Noble Phantasm Clarification Round. Saber has 2 Noble Phantasms, Excalibur, which from the beginning until now was hidden by the Invisible Air, ability that deflects light granting invisibility, and Avalon, shown in episode 1. It's the sheath they used as a catalyst to summon her. Note, the power is from Excalibur and not from Saber's arm, but rather the sword needs to be held with both hands to activate the attack. The subtitles were a bit confusing. Archer only has 1 Noble Phantasm, Gate of Babylon, which allows him to access all the treasures he's amassed in life, mostly weapons of great power. Note, indeed, he sees Saber as one more object to possess. Her suffering entertains him. Lancer has 2 Noble Phantasms, Darg, the red spear that nullifies mana, and Gay, word I'm not going to pronounce, and probably shouldn't be pronouncing gay that way either. I'm sure that's not the way that's said.
Is it Gaibolga? And
well, it's the A with a line over top of it, which I don't know how to pronounce. Anyway, the yellow spear that causes wounds that cannot be healed, one of which he broke last episode. Probably the second one, the yellow spear. Ryder has 2 Noble Phantasms, Gordius Wheel, the war chariot pulled by 2 divine bulls, and the Ionian Roy. I don't know. The reality marble where he manifests his army of 40,000 soldiers that served in his army. Note, the soldiers are not infinite, which we knew because they all said that they joined him willingly. Caster only had 1 Noble Phantasm. I have so many words I can't just pronounce. Seems so obvious. Prolates spellbook that allowed him to summon countless amounts of extra-dimensional monstrosities. Berserker has 3 noble phantasms, Knight of the Owner, which allows him to enhance anything he touches to the level of a true noble phantasm, as long as the thing is perceived as a weapon. For Someone's Glory, which is the ability that allows him to hide his appearance and parameters. It's that black smoke that he always gives off. And Arundite, his Night Sword. Note, due to his second noble phantasm for the characters, he appears as a black shadow, while for us as an audience we can see him a little better. Assassin only had 1 noble phantasm, Zabaniah, which allowed him to manifest and give body to his 80 personalities. Another great reaction, guys. The next episode hit hard, I hope. Thanks for reading.
Okay. That's a nice breakdown. Although most of these are blacked out in these because you haven't unblacked them.
Well, those images aren't from that note. I was just making sure that you'd seen those before.
Yeah.
Is there nothing else about the comment?
Nope, not really. I'm just throwing it back in my head if I can remember later. It's like, that's what's happening.
Okay. Well, lastly, we have from Dr. Redacted, from the bloody Battle of Meon River. That thing Gil is flying on is the throne of the heaven-soaring king, Vimana, passed down from Babylon to India, and recorded in the 2 epic sagas of India, Ramayana, and Mahabharata. Fueled by a solar crystal, rutilated quartz crystals that burns mercury as fuel, it surpasses the laws of physics by traveling at the speed of thought. Gilgamesh is simply playing around here within the myths of ancient India. It was apparently loaded with a variety of weapons ranging from ancient machine guns to ancient nuclear warheads, which have been collected and stored within Gilgamesh's treasury.
Oh, so he collects also nukes as well. Although in this case, I think a nuke wouldn't really work against anybody, I guess, unless it magically ends. I mean,
why wouldn't it? Literally, Saber got cut on the arm, and it affected her swordsmanship. You don't think she couldn't get nuked?
By, what's his name? By Lancer's guy, Olga, so magical weapon again.
Yeah, but she can still get hurt by other stuff.
She can be shot.
I'm assuming so. I mean, I don't know why you think she wouldn't be able to get shot.
I don't know. I suspect that summons. I mean, they can manipulate objects and read and all that. So I guess they're just like people, except they're magically tied to whoever summoned them and the command seal. So, yeah, I guess you can just bring the army and just mow them down. I guess just a bunch of guys with assault rifles. Well, in the case of Gilgamesh, he'll be flying too far and too fast to get hit by anything, and he was dodging those missiles from Berserker. So.
I mean, Ryder can also fly through the air.
Yeah, but that makes Gilgamesh. I guess he has access to all these weapons and he can use them. He basically makes him
Yeah, but everything's beneath him,
so he doesn't use them.
Yeah,
he just collects them.
You not remember the whole Battle of Meon River?
Yeah, he just was.
He said, "I don't want to get my stuff dirty and throw it away." Like you literally hit it once with the things. I don't want that back anymore. That's dirty.
Yeah,
and I don't want to waste more of my treasures on this thing.
Well, I guess this is Gilgamesh before he met Enkidu.
Well, technically, I don't. No, I think you're wrong. You're wrong. Because they know their whole histories. Unfortunately, you missed like the best episode about the like 3 main competing philosophies.
They might know the whole history, but in the original story, what actually happened was that he meets Enkidu, fights him for about 6 days, and then they become best friends. And that's kind of like the event that humbles him.
My point is that he knows that though, so I'm thinking it doesn't matter. It's like if you died in 100 years from now, I cloned you. Somehow I lived 100 years, whatever. And like download all your memories back into your body. Technically, I might have cloned you from a point in time before you did like a life-changing thing, but I gave you all the memories of after it too. So technically, would you say you're from before or after? Because in your head, you've experienced the event and you were humbled and blah, 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 but
he's not behaving like that, so apparently has no import.
Or
it didn't happen.
Maybe thousands of years after the fact, it no longer matters to him. I guess there's always the element of a character can change beyond the moment that you knew them from. You know, everyone pissed off at Picard, for example.
Yeah.
Implying that a character can't change from the person that you knew them as because you preferred who they were before.
Yeah, but the thing is that that's kind of the whole thing about Gilgamesh. He's a demigod who basically was taking prices like the wives of the husbands of his subjects. Enkidu comes in, they fight it out. He gets so humbled and is like, and has adventures with Enkidu that when Enkidu is dying, or actually Enkidu dies, he says, "Okay, I'm gonna go and search for source of immortality because I'm so afraid of it." And then when he finds it, it's like, I never needed it in the first place. And then he just allows himself to die, right? That's kind of the at least what we know of the Epic of Gilgamesh, right?
I guess there's also a matter of perspective here. Like, in this, Gilgamesh is real, so maybe his perspective on the matter is different from the myth.
I guess so.
Well, I mean, because there's also the thing that's coming to me is probably because he's the guy I have myself drawn as and my favorite one of the bunch, Writer. Writer appears larger than life, because I guess that's what's expected of him, but then he is like, your perception of me isn't who I really was. You know, that whole conversation in the bookstore and then the yelling match on the side of the road, that it doesn't matter who I am or what size I am, it's just who I am that matters.
I guess so.
I wasn't as big as this in real life. Because, I mean, it's the conversation about, like, who Waver is. And Waver's like, I'm not this big, I'm not this important, I can't accomplish these things. And, you know, Ryder trying to convince him that it doesn't matter who you are on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the perceptions can be completely off. I don't know. I guess between those two. I guess also for an element of Saber, you know, being a woman.
Yeah, except of being King Arthur and male. Although, I guess you could summon King Arthur as a male, I guess.
I guess, but I think the implication is that King Arthur in this reality was always Arturia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which is, again, another matter of perception.
Oh, there you go.
Any comments about last episode?
No.
Tell me what you remember from last episode.
Not much.
I was going to take notes about last episode, because very specifically, one, I thought it was interesting how Castor seemed to almost be apologizing right at his very end, right when he was seeing Jeanne d'Arc.
Yeah. But, well, was he apologizing or was he accepting his fate? I think he was feeling that he was being finally liberated because he always wanted to die.
He saw the light as God and realized his punishment was incoming and was apologizing for that, since he believed God might not be real at one point, because God never sought to punish him, because that's what he was seeking to do through all his heinous acts. And then, Ryunosuke convinced him that God is just like the director of a play, basically, and that you're one of God's best actors. So again, the act of the light of Excalibur piercing through the outside of, I guess, Cthulhu? I'm not exactly sure. He may have seen it as God's light. And I guess not for nothing, but he sees Joan of Arc, which is, kind of like God's messenger for her time period.
Suppose so. He was burned as a heretic, but then celebrated as a saint. So,
well, I mean, she heard God telling her to fight for her people. That's what I'm saying, God's messenger in that way. Not like God's messenger as a prophet, but as someone who, in history, has reported to hear God's voice and to do God's will.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of Moses heard God's voice too.
Patriarch?
Well, no.
In case of Moses, will be like a patriarch.
No, that's not the word I was looking for. Sorry, you confused me heavily by trying to guess what I was thinking of. I wasn't trying to guess a word. So you hit me with patriarch. I'm like, In what situation would I have been trying to think of patriarch? No, I was just trying to think of different people who have heard God's voice reportedly and not been like a prophet.
Seers?
Well, that's what I was saying, is that Joan of Arc reported to have heard God's voice and
champion of God
wasn't a prophet. Like, they didn't say, God told me to do this, now follow me. They just did what God told them to do, they say. Otherwise, yeah, we had the discussion at the end of the episode about the conversation between Ryder and Archer.
And the whole thing with there was the guy who got picked up from the alley as we burned up, but still alive.
That's Kirai. We already talked about him.
Yeah. So I don't remember much of that conversation, by the way.
The whole almost like Saber as property thing.
Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, I'm going to get her, blah, blah, blah. Like, well, good luck with that, dude.
Well, I mean, they were also going to fight, but they think the admission was that they were both used up a lot of their energy, so there wasn't enough to get a real fight going. I mean, either way, we are 2 servants down, 5 remain, and at the end of every episode, there's a running clock. I think indicating there was like 3 days left in the war.
Is this a 2-season anime?
We are in the final season.
Okay.
I mean, this is the Macross Zero of Fate.
Oh, okay.
Which is to say, it's a prequel. Because after this, I believe it's Fate Stay Night, which is the original, longer-running one with different characters and whatnot. So we're in. I can't remember. This is the 6th Grail War, I want to say. And I want to say that there's like 70 hours left on the clock at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Just a couple of days left.
Mm-hmm.
Or a few days left.
24, 48, 72, less than 2 days.
Yeah, I said 3 days before, but I didn't actually do the math. Because I think I did the math before, and I'm trying to remember what I said. Conversation-based facts.
That's it.
Well, if you got no notes and not a lot of input on the comments, I guess we'll just continue. Let's go ahead and see what happens.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
お待たせして申し訳ない。さすがに今夜は少々取り込んでいるもので。
I want to see if his hand just cut off.
ことがことですからな。隠蔽工作も楽ではないでしょう。
いや、まあ、今回ばかりは我ら聖堂教会でも手に余る。利用できるところはできる限り利用しているありさまで。
Well, he's got no magic in him, so he can't.
神父殿。私の申告についての判定はどのように。そのキャスター討伐による報奨の件ですが。
Ooh, that's interesting. I guess I'm gonna have to remind you here.
He's the one. He ordered the shot to kill.
No. He is the former master of Lancer. Remember the one who you said the wife screwed him over, but you couldn't remember who.
Yeah.
Assumedly, he either gave her all of his seals or she cut his hand off because she threatened to do that before if he didn't give it over. And we still haven't seen if he's got his hand there or not. Maybe he has. I think we just saw both sides of him. Looks like he has both of his hands. Although I will say in the opening shot there, they spoiled it. I very clearly saw
a seal.
Yeah, a seal on his hand. What he's saying is, we killed Castor, and the reward the church was offering was more seals, or more marks, to be able to control a servant. So if he's trying to claim it, he may have given all of his to his wife or his fiancée, but he could get more again and assert his authority. Because he is the original master of Lancer.
Yeah.
Which would imply that the Grail chose him, even though he gave his marks to his wife. Meaning that she doesn't, she doesn't represent the Grail's pick in this. So that would be a massive surprise for everybody involved. Although Lancer was still loyal to him, so.
これで報奨の令状を受け取れば
Yeah, see, he's going to get it before she
完
can.
全な形でつながれる
Uh-oh.
Oh. Take
Oh,
my,
that's his
take my
her
seals
hand.
back, bitch.
私の逃げてない逃げて
Oh, and Mage Slayer's girlfriend.
ティルモットを呼べないティルモットに配ってもらえない逃げて逃げて逃げて逃げて
Yeah, reap what you sow, bitch.
私の
Slit her throat.
信徒でソラウヌ・アザレ・ソフィアリを確保しました。レイジは右手ごと切除しました。
よし。速やかにその場所を離れろ。すぐにランサーが
No.
戻ってくるはずだ。
Kind of assumed you'd kill her.
Okay.
It's funny that he's going to get the command spells now, which makes it... I love it.
マトウカリアを助けるなど紛れもなく我が死の仇となる。言い訳の余地のない謀反だ。しかしこれは何だ。後悔ではない。私は高揚しているのか。
I still have to assume he's here to get his family back, because we know they're
Yeah,
dead.
yeah. Oh, he got his hand mangled but not cut.
Well, remember, she broke his fingers, threatening him
Yeah.
to take the seal.
それでは私にも霊樹一角を譲り受ける資格が。
それなのだが、ケイネス・アーチボルト殿、現状の貴殿をマスターの一人としてみなしていいものか。
The Grail picked him.
ランサーとの契約は許嫁のソラウと分散する形で結んでいるのです。
今では魔力供給も霊樹の管理も
Technically, nobody is at the moment. Means Lancer's in trouble.
確かに今は霊樹をソラウに預けてある。
Although,
だが契約の
I don't know how this
今
works.
も私にあるのです。
his mage circuits are broken. Mage Killer shot him with the thing that broke his mage circuit. I don't know if he can give mana anymore.
私個人になっているはずですが。
よろしいでしょう。貴殿を資格者として認めます。さあ、ケイネス殿、手をお出しなさい。皆この杯から飲め。これはその罪が許されるようにと多くの人のために流す私
I don't know how this works, because if he has no mage circuits, can he borrow the mana to keep Lancer in the world? Yeah, it's a weird way to hold your hand, dude.
それでは引き続き
Famously, not a lot of people are doing this with a good intent anymore.
ええ、もちろんですと。
Well, you
Yeah,
won't be
that was
giving
right.
anybody any seals anymore, my dude.
That was very noble of him, I guess.
今となっては一角限り。未だ不利な状況には変わらぬ。
Yeah, it means you can't make Lancer do anything you want anymore.
新たな霊樹を獲得させるなど、断じて見過ごせるはずがあ
He
る
also,
まい。
remember, that old priest is Kirai's dad. Or grandpa. One of the two.
Oh, somebody shot him, though.
口先だけの役立た
He opened the door and somebody shot him.
一人の身を守ることもままならぬとは。ふん騎士道が聞いて呆れるわ。
面目次第もありません。
一時の大隊とはいえ、己のマスターを守り仰せることすらかなわんで。一体何のためのサーバントだ。よくも一人でおめおめと帰ってこられたな。
恐れながら、主よ。正規の契約関係になかった。
Yeah, he was loyal to you this whole time, even when she was in control.
互いに気配を察知することもままならず。
なればこそ細心の注意を払って叱るべきだろうが。
主よ。しかしまだ、ソラウ殿は生きておられます。私への魔力供給はよどみなく。
There we go. That explains it then.
分かったところで正規のサーバントでないお前に。
Because remember, his magic circuits are broken. He can't be supplying anything.
ソラウ、やはり令状を渡すべきではなかった。
追い覚めしきれなかった。 このディルムットの席でもあります。
よくも抜け抜けと言えたものだな。とぼけるなよ、ランサー。どうせ貴様がソラウを焚きつけたのであろうが。
I mean, not on purpose.
そのようなこと。
It's his.
まさに伝説通り。
Yeah.
主君の言い名付けとあっては、色目を使わずにはいられないサガなのか。
我が主よ、どうか今のお言葉だけは撤回を。
He's Lancelot.
勘に触った
So
か。
No.
無償の忠誠を誓うなどと綺麗事を
Not.
抜かして
Not unless you want to believe me and Justin's theory that everyone represents same characters from every mythology.
なぜ
That everyone is King Arthur's court in a different in a different mythos.
私はただ一重に誇りを全うし、
Remember, technically, Berserker is Lancelot.
望みたかっただけのこと。
聞いた風な口を聞くな、サーバント。身の程を知れよ。所詮魔術の技で慈しみを得たというだけの亡者が、主に対して説法するなどおこがましいにも程がある。悔しいと思うなら、そのご大層な誇りとやらで我が霊樹に抗ってみせるがいい。
This is a weird bluff you're playing up, since we already know you only have one command spell left.
ケネス殿。主よ。
なんだ、まだ何か言いたいことでもあるか。
いいな、そうではなく、何かここに近づいてきます。
Saber? I'm guessing? Yep. Who else would it have been, right? These are the two that are connected.
魔術結界の痕跡がある。でも妙ね。手入れもろくにしていないのか。もうほころびかかってるわ。
お前がここに現れるとはな、セイバー。
私の味方が調べ上げて知らせ。
I mean, if anyone's gonna go down next, I'd have to assume it's gonna be Lancer. He's barely got power to keep him around anymore. One command seal left.
よもやお前に心当たりはあるまいな。
知らないが、それが何か。
いや、忘れてくれ。
Oh, nothing. It's just your master's girlfriend is out there assassinating people, apparently.
話に教授に来たわけでもなかろうが、キャスター相手にあれだけの大技を放ったお前にはそれ相応の消耗があるのでは。
それはどのサーバントも同じこと。もう今夜は誰もがこれ以上の荒事を控えて守りに入っているはずだ。だからこそ余計な横槍が入る心配もない。
Yeah, now that I'm healed because of your sacrifice.
すでに夜明けもほど近いが、我々が私有を決するには今夜を逃す手はないと私は思う。どうだ、ランサーよ。
セイバーよ、この胸の内に鈴風を呼び込んでくれるのは、今はもうお前の曇りなき闘志のみだ。
Yeah, it's a real shame because Lancer wasn't a bad guy. Also, Saber's an icon of the series, so I don't assume that she's gonna lose.
Saber, セイバー、お前は左手を使わないつもりか。
勘違いは困るぞ。
Trying to keep things even.
今ここで左手を使えば、きっと残機が私の剣を鈍らせる。あなたの槍の冴えを前にして、それは致命的な不覚となるだろう。
セイバー。
故にディルムットよ。全力であなたを倒すための、これが私にとっての最善の策だ。
騎士道の剣に誉れあれ。俺はお前と出会えてよかった。
That sounds like he's gonna sacrifice himself.
異様な騎士団が一番やり、ディルムット・オーディナ、押してまいる。
Fiona, you know.
王ともブリテン王、アルトリア・ペンドラ。
I mean, like I said, if he depended on sticking around because of his masters are fading out. So
確実な勝機がないのなら、いっそマスターを連れて逃げるべきであろうが。
I'm assuming he's going to use his last command still here, and that's going to be it.
あるというのに、そんな状況判断もできないというのか、あのサーバントは。
Kaboom. No? Sorry, I thought that threw an explosive, not a bullet.
よりによって奴が。
Oh, he wants to take over.
これはセルフギアススクロール。魔術師の世界において決して違約しようのない取り決めを結ぶときに用いられる呪術契約。束縛術式
大将エミヤ切り継ぐ。エミヤの刻印元年です。下記条件の常時を前提とし、制約は戒律となりて例外なく対象を縛る。
I don't know what he could possibly want from him.
制約エミヤ家5代継承者乗り方の息子たる切り継ぐに対し、ケイネス・エルメロイ・アーチゴフ並びにソラウ・ナザレ・ソフィアリの両人を対象とした殺害、
傷害の意図および行為を永久に。
No, he doesn't want Lancer. He's already got Saber. He's Saber's master. Yeah, what's the condition? That's what I want to know.
原理上いかなる手段を用いても解除不能。たとえ命を差し出そうとも魔術刻印がある限り。
But your magic circuits got destroyed, so does it even matter anymore?
これを満たせばあいつには私を殺せない。しかしこの条件では私の戦いは。
Is it just surrender?
終わってしまう。
I'm thinking the pledge is these two won't hurt him or his ilk, but the condition is they surrender the Grail War. There's gonna be a real bitch since the moment you just got the crest back, too.
ソラウ。
Still love my wife, even though she betrayed me. Oh, did he use his command spell to make him stab himself?
Yeah.
Command seal, rather?
残るすべての霊児を費やして、
Yeah.
サーバントを自決
That
さ
was
せ
the condition.
確かに条件は満たされた。
貴様らはそんなにも勝ちたいか。そうまでして聖杯が欲しいか。
The Grail only picks people that wants it.
たった一つ抱いた祈りさえ踏みにじって、貴様らは何一つ恥じることもないのか。許さん。断じて貴様らを許さん。
Oh, those eyes.
祈りに疲れ、騎士の誇りを貶めた亡者ども。その夢を我が血で汚すがいい。聖杯に呪いあれ。その願望に災いあれ。いつか地獄の釜に落ちながら、このディルムットの怒りを思い出せ。
3 down. 4 to go.
これでお前にはギアスが。
ああ、成立だ。もう僕にはお前たちを殺せない。
But my assistant can. I'm assuming.
Is it?
Yep. Because that's the Mage Slayer. He's a fucking asshole.
Damn, dude.
Saw that coming.
Hmm.
That's a genie's wish, man. What do you want?
Wow.
Yeah, Saber fucking hates her master. I think that's been shown before.
Mm-hmm.
エミヤ切り継ぐ 今ようやく貴様を下道と理解した。道は違えど目指す場所は同じだと、そう信じてきた私が愚かだった。私はこれまでアイリスフィールの言葉を信じて貴様の少年を疑うことはしなかった。だが今はもう貴様が聖杯を持って救世をなすなどと言われても到底信じるわけにはいかない。答えろ、キリ
No,
ツグ。
I mean, it's if he's an
聖杯を求める
extremist,
真の理由は何
he
だ。
really sees.
Remember, you don't remember. He tried to blow up a building full of people just to kill that guy before.
それを貴様の手にも
He was
託すために
he
なる
was
の
a
だと
fucking
したら
terrorist.
私は
答えて、キリツグ。いくらなんでも今回はあなたにも説明の義務がある。
そういえば僕の殺し方を君に見せるのはこれが初めてだったね、アイリ。マスターを殺すだけでは別のマスターがそのサーバントと再契約する可能性があるんだ。
Yeah, I mean, he took out 2, 1 stroke.
同時に始末する必要があった。
ねえ、キリツグ。私ではなくセイバーに話して。彼女にはあなたの言葉が必要よ。
いいや、栄光だの名誉だの、そんなものを危機としてもてはやす殺人者には何を語り聞かせても無駄だ。
我が眼前で騎士道を汚すか、下道。
騎士なんぞに世界は救えない。こいつらはな、
As was proven by your own death.
聖者があると時、さも戦場に尊いものがあるかのよう
So
に
the other two try to teach you about your method of rule.
そんな歴代の英雄どもが見せる幻想で、一体どれだけの若者たちが武勇だの名誉だのに誘惑されて血を流して死んでいったと思う。
幻想ではない。たとえ命のやり取りだろうと、それが人の営みである以上。
Hey, it's your opinion.
さもなく
You've stated before.
この世には地獄が具現する羽目になる。
ほらこれ。
Every hell, he's gonna say that every.
この英霊様はよりにもよって戦場が地獄よりマシなものだと思ってる。
Yeah, I think that was gonna be the.
あれは正真正銘の地獄だ。戦場に希望なんてない。あるのはかけねなしの絶望だ。
I feel like we've chosen our son as well. She seems to represent you.
勝利という名の財
I love Alexander.
なのに人類はその真実に気づかない。いつの時代も勇猛果敢な英雄様が華やかな武勇団で人々の目をくらませ、血を流すことの邪悪さを認めようとしないからだ。人間の本質は石器時代から一歩も前に進んじゃいない。
それじゃあキリツグ、あなたがセイバーに屈辱を与えるのは英霊に対する憎しみのせい。
まさかそんな市場は交えないさ。僕は聖杯を勝ち取り世界を救う、そのための戦いに
From what?
最もふさわしい手段で臨んでいるだけだ。
So you're willing to turn the world into hell, the very hell that you speak of, in order to save it.
You gotta remember that the Grail chose him, so his desire, whatever it is, it's strong enough that the Grail recognized him.
エミやキリツグ、かつてあなたが何に裏切られ、何に絶望したのかは知らない。だがその怒りは、嘆きは、紛れもなく正義を求めた者だけが抱くものだ。キリツグ、若き日の本当のあなたは正義の味方になりたかったはずだ。世界を救う英雄を誰よりも信じて求め欲していたはずだ。違うか。
Got you to the right.
それを果たしうるのが聖杯だ。
Yeah, but I mean, he feels like he's the kind of guy, even if you prove him wrong, it's not gonna stop him.
He'll still, yeah, he's an extremist, yeah.
たとえこの世のすべての悪を担うことになろうとも構わないさ。
What's it? Utopia justifies the means, I guess.
僕は喜んで引き受ける。
Yeah, but you're not sacrificing yourself, you're sacrificing other people.
I mean,
That's the thing.
technically, I think you also missed the scene where he was crying on the rooftop, and his wife there had to. He said, "If you want me to stop, I'll stop, and we'll run away together, and we'll stop all of this." And she's like, "No, if you did that, you wouldn't be the man I fell in love with." 72 hours, yeah.
So is she dead now? Now that he's let go of the homunculus?
Yeah, I don't know. Not actually very sure about her entire condition. Episode 1, she gave birth, and it was like 8 years ago or something like that. And then they had the whole conversation about I'm going to be the cause of your death, and then later on she admits to being a homunculi. So I don't know if past her died at some point and then new creation or whatever.
Yeah.
Guys, I know nothing about homunculi in this show. It's never actually been explained that much, unless it was explained in that shed scene, and I'm just forgetting.
Or right now, as it's doing it,
I don't know. Seems like the creation thing, but then it would also imply that the baby was born to a homunculus. I think maybe she was just sick, and that's what we were seeing in this. They have the most amazing kid. It's a shame you didn't get to see her because they left her back in Germany, I think. I'm hoping she's in Fate Stay Night, and that was like the intro to that.
Yeah.
Fucking adorable. Like I said, I have no doubt that he loves his wife. That was his moment of doubt when he was crying up on the balcony, and then she convinced him to keep going. Yeah, I think she's dead. I think that's what that implies.
Yeah.
同盟ですか今になって
聖杯戦争の真実を教えてやろう。
この話受けましょう。
あの人の夢を叶えるために死んでください。
興ざめな幕切れだ。
いってらっしゃい、お父様。
It sounded like Rin?
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna guess means, what's his name? Tosayaki is gonna die? I don't know fighting who, though, because he is technically the Mage Slayer. I don't know how many bone bullets he has.
Oh.
That's how he took out the other guy, because the other guy fucking, I don't know what you would call him, super powerful, though. Because he had, like, you remember, Gaara from Naruto?
Yeah.
The Saiyan Shield thing? He had something like that, was made out of mercury, that just followed him around.
Wow.
Like, perfect defense for him. But, Mage Slayer had, what did he do? He had a thing where he could slow down his heart rate to, like, next to nothing, so that, because the mercury thing could also detect him based on his heartbeat from, like, around corners throughout the building, so he was also using it to search for him.
Yeah.
He could slow down his heart rate, but he could also super accelerate it, damaging his body to move at, like, superhuman speeds. He was doing all sorts of shit to beat that guy, and eventually he shot him with a bullet made from his own bones, which is what destroyed his magic circuits. That's why I keep saying he has no magic anymore. That's why he was originally, like, on a hospital bed and then in a wheelchair. So he was already, like, on his last legs. That's why I was saying he had there's no way he could power Lancer with his mana.
But interesting the way Lancer died, which means if he gets another Great War, he gets brought back, would he have memories of that death?
I'm assuming. I don't know. The idea is that if he had been summoned in, like, the previous Grail Wars, would he be mentioning them now?
I guess not.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Again, this is the prequel stuff. So I'm assuming if in the main show they might bring that stuff. The same way that they said in the comments that the magic system stuff gets explained in the main show. Not here.
This might be an explanation why when he does come back, he comes back as a villain, right? As somebody who curses the war and wants to destroy it and all that. Someone who was very honorable gets betrayed by his master in this way.
Can a summon be a villain? I mean, maybe you could argue like Gilgamesh, right? I'm going to re-look up his name just to make sure I'm getting this right. Gilgamesh, Tokiyami, I don't remember what I said. Tokiyami is the one I was talking about before. Has made the deal with Gilgamesh that he's basically Gilgamesh's servant, even though Gilgamesh is the servant, to then get Gilgamesh to fight on his side. In that back and forth, Gilgamesh could be seen as the villain if Gilgamesh does something villainous, because Gilgamesh is in charge of that relationship, sort of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tokiyami still has the command things. That's why he was able to call Gilgamesh back before. But no matter how angry Lancer gets, Lancer is just representing its master. I guess, technically, to the information that we have been given about how this works, Lancer could kill another servant and then kill his own master and then sell himself, essentially, to the guy whose servant he just killed.
Yeah.
So if, like, a different master has a goal to kill everyone or whatever, and he's pissed off enough about the events of the last Grail War, this one, he could kill his own master and sell his services to the other guy. Like, if another Ryunosuke shows up and he's like, fuck it, kill them all.
Yeah. Could be. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff. So how many episodes we have left? Well, it's episode 16, so out of 22?
Infinite. Think of we have infinite episodes left.
Mm-hmm.
Though this is sponsored by Septicue, as I said, thank you before, they could just have us watch the next series after this.
Yeah, true.
So,
well, he said he was boring, so
they said some people
find it boring. Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me. I mean, I'm invested at this point. I want to know how this goes down. Like, I'm aware that Rin is like a main character in some other show, so that element at play. I already know Rin's backstory now. I'm invested, like I said.
Yeah.
I don't know how you make this boring.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So thank you for sponsoring the episode, and we'll see what happens next.
Okay. I thought you would have more to say, but I guess not. So, I guess that said, once again, I am Theta. This is Lessons. We're Stone-Faced Reactions, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?